Pardon my absolutely baffling hair. It's still wet. I took a shower. But I've been reading The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, and my mom recommended me this book a while ago, and I never got around to reading it. And then she recently re-mentioned it, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna look it up. It's available on Kindle Unlimited. So I was like, I'm gonna download it. And it's been the book that I've been reading at night, right? Because it's on my Kindle and I like to read with the lights off. And I just stumbled across like this section of the book. I'm 35% in now, but I felt so validated by how this analogy was that I had to share it with you. I saw my life branching out before me, like the green fig tree in the story. From the tip of every branch, like a fat purple fig, a wonderful future beckoned and winked. One fig was a husband and a happy home and children, another fig was a famous poet, and another fig was a brilliant professor, and another fig was E.G., the amazing editor, and another fig was Europe and Africa and South America, and another fig was Constantine and Socrates and Attila and a pack of other lovers with queer names and offbeat professions, and another fig was an Olympic lady crew champion. And beyond and above these figs were many more figs, and I couldn't quite make out. I saw myself sitting at the crotch of this fig tree, starving to death, just because I couldn't make up my mind which of the figs I would choose. I wanted each and every one of them, but choosing one meant losing all the rest, and as I sat there unable to decide, the figs began to wrinkle and go black, and one by one they plopped on the ground at my feet. I beg your pardon. I have had such similar thoughts to that, and like when it comes to choosing your life, you know what I mean, and making decisions as an adult, and like your schooling, your job, your relationships, and I've never seen it put into words so perfectly. I was not expecting to have that hit so hard, and I've really been enjoying it. So basically, like, the FMC, it's just like, it's a character study, and she is just like going about her life. She explains like she went to like this Ivy League college, she works at like this editor office and lives at this hotel with like a bunch of other women that do similar things, and it's in a time where women are still like in the workforce, but they aren't really like valued members of the workforce, so they do like remedial jobs, like you're an assistant to the executive and you type things and you transcribe. And see, she's not really like gung-ho for life, but she's not really like doing anything to like improve her standards by any means either. She's just kind of vibing. And from what I know of Sylvia Plath, I know that she was a very mentally unwell gal. The Bell Jar is one of her most popular works, and she's also pretty well known for her poetry. My mom had to write like a pretty big assignment for her master's on Sylvia Plath, so she has like other books by her. She was going to put those aside for me so I could flip through, since she knows that like I've been reading this. And yeah, I'm very surprised because I didn't read the synopsis as I typically do, but the writing is very well done, and you really like get a sense of the character's lack of a fuck to give about everything. But you can tell like she's good at kind of finessing her way into these situations, and yeah, it's a good time. I just wanted to update you guys because I've never felt so validated by that fig analogy, because I've felt that way so many times, and absolutely crazy. Like, Sylvia, Miss Sylvia. Thank you. I wish we could be friends, but I'm pretty sure you yourself, I don't want to say it, but I'm pretty sure she ixnayed on life.
Good morning. It is Saturday. I just got done doing my Bible study, and I was about to get some more coffee because I'm still quite tired. I didn't sleep the best last night, so I need the caffeine. And I was gonna start my schoolwork as well. I'm trying to get ahead in my history class a little bit because I have an essay that I'm gonna have to write fairly shortly, and I need time for essays. So I'm gonna do that. It's about the American Revolution, and if you're from the United States, you know that like that's one of the most patriotic parts of our history. We love the Boston Tea Party, you know, taxation without representation. It's gonna be a good time. After that, though, I wanted to go for a walk if the weather stays nice. I'm gonna make some breakfast here in a little bit as well. And yeah, I wanted to, in my Bible study, I use highlighters. I have like a journaling Bible. What is it? NLT, New Living Translation. Not my favorite. I didn't really pay attention too much when I bought it. I plan on getting like an ESV or something along those lines after, but I'm using these midliners. I don't like them. Every single one has died within maybe 2 months. So if you have any Rex, I would love that. My grandpa just got home, so I got to chat him up about his bacon biscuit this morning. But yeah, I would love recommendations on like Bible friendly highlighters. I don't use this one. This was just for my trip for school, but I use these midliners and I'm quite disappointed, honestly, that they died so fast. I've never had a highlighter be this awful, and I've heard such good things. That's why it's like kind of conflicting. Everyone, I feel like, swears by these, and maybe I just got like a bad batch. Really annoyed. These did not last long, like maybe 3 months. And I've had these for maybe a year, but I wasn't really using them. And like they were in this bag. It's not like I left them out or anything weird. Like they couldn't have dried out. Like I've had these how do you pronounce it? Stettler German markers for years, and they're still not dried out. So like I don't think it's anything to do with me storing. Just really weird. I like how they're pastel though, and they don't bleed, and like, you know, so if there's another company or brand that you recommend, holla at your girl, because I don't want to buy these again if they're gonna do the same thing, but I would like them to be pastel. I don't really like bright colors. So I decided to go to the library, and it was quite busy today. I'm not sure why, but I found a book. Not that I needed one. This just came out, and her stuff isn't really available on Kindle Unlimited that often, if ever. I don't think I've ever read one of her books from Kindle Unlimited, but it's Scythe and Sparrow. It's the third book of the like Butcher and Blackbird series, the Ruinous Love trilogy. So it's the final one, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna get it. I've been having kind of issues reading lately. I'll read it and I'm like, yeah, like I'm enjoying it. I haven't been obsessed, and I think I just need like a romance to kind of like clean the slate a little bit. Her banter is pretty good. I doubt this one's gonna be as dark as the other ones. If you've read the first, if you've read Butcher and Blackbird, you know. It's me in a new location, kind of, in the kitchen. I'm about to make some lunch. I have been grinding on that American Revolution reading. I feel like I haven't really woken up today, and I've just like read myself into delirium. So I'm gonna get some food, and hopefully that sustenance will bring me some sort of vitality or just energy, more passion. Also, I don't know if I've talked about it, about my supplements, but I'm taking a B complex, I am taking CoQ10, I am taking vitamin C and vitamin D, K2, and I do take fiber because apparently I'm not getting enough fiber in my diet even though I eat so many friggin' vegetables. That's my blend. Anyone was curious, that's what I'm taking. I don't think lunch is gonna be crazy. I am not super hungry. I mostly just eat lunch to get my supplements in, and then I eat like an early dinner. So I'll probably just have like some turkey slices and a couple carrots, which has been my lunch the past couple days. I've been taking a couple days off of my protein powder just because it's, you know, switch it up. You don't wanna like ingest it too often. Let me show you that one. Just Ingredients protein powder. This is the Snickerdoodle flavor. My mom tried it and wasn't
a huge fan of like the cinnamon flavor because we're all chocolate gals in this family, but I don't mind it. I would say it's one of the only protein powders that hasn't absolutely nuked my stomach because I have a really sensitive stomach and I've never really been able to digest them well besides this one. So love that for me. I think it tastes great. It kind of reminds me of cinnamon toast milk, you know, like after you eat the cereal, that's what that tastes like. Obviously not as jaw-lockingly sweet. The only gripe I have is I use a frother, like, you know, the little spinny thing, and it doesn't incorporate the best. I use like little chunky bits here and there, so I like, while I'm drinking it, sometimes I have to like re-stir it because it doesn't fully assimilate. I finished lunch. I'm going to continue on with the bell jar. Right now I'm at the part where the FMC, she is at home from a semester in college and it's the bane of her existence. Top 10 worst experience ever. And I kind of feel her. And the only thing is I find this book a little confusing because with like that chapter in specifics, I wasn't even aware we were like in the past tense until it mentioned first semester of college, coming back to town, whatever. I didn't know that. And I don't know if it's because like mostly I read for the vibes or what, but some of the writing isn't like the easiest. It's not the most flowy. You know what I mean? Because some books are very lyrical and this one's definitely not it. It's like independent thoughts that get put together. Like there is an overarching story kind of, but not really. I don't know how to describe it. I mean, obviously it's a very popular book because, you know, it's Sylvia Plath, but yeah, I'm 52% of the way through, which is, it says I have like 2.5 hours left. So if I really grinded today, I could finish it if I wanted to. I've been reading all day for school and I'm tired. I might take a nap. My chances of falling asleep are around 80%. I could totally go for a nap right now. If it started raining, I'm out. This soundscape, amazing for naps, especially if it's raining. Took a little nap. Also, I don't know why, but I do know why, actually. I didn't read the synopsis of this book. I didn't know quite literally anything about Sylvia Plath. I didn't realize this was like Esther's decline in mental health because homegirl just got electroshock therapy because verbal therapy didn't help. She tried to expire herself twice now. Downhill quite fast, you know? Like, I feel you, girl. Like, life is hard sometimes, but gosh darn. This poor girl just needs a hug. But I don't even think she'd like a hug. Also, I keep referring to her as FMC because I'm so bad with names, and Esther is just one of those names that doesn't stick in my head very well, but Esther's mom, one of the worst human beings. And not because her mom is actually bad, it's just her mom is bad because of like any lack of know-how or care. Shows like no traits of actual motherhood that a mother should have, you know? So it is curious to read about a character in that state because I don't read characters like that often, especially with character studies. Usually they tend to be like somewhat cynical. I've read books where the characters are nutty, but not like this nutty like crazy, not nutty like I'm really sad, guys. So there's that. Just thought I'd update you on that. I am 63% of the way through. I want to say chapter 13. Yep. I'm on page 184 of 287, so I basically have like 100 pages left. This book like moves kind of quick. I just fell asleep. Dinner is gonna be happening fairly soon though, so I'm gonna hop on that. guess what I finally finished. I finished The Bell Jar. Whoop, whoop. I finished it around like 5 o'clock, so a few hours ago, and I'm happy I finished it. It had an ending that I was not anticipating. This book was a lot of me not properly anticipating or informing myself what this story was about. It's kind of going along for the ride, but I did have a decent time reading this. I wouldn't say it's like my favorite book ever. Kind of weird. I wasn't expecting it to take the turn that it took, and then it didn't take the ending turn. Like, the ending wasn't what I anticipated it either. I guess it ended on like a good note, kind of, but definitely not what I was expecting based on like the last like third or like half of the book. I'm happy I finished it. I just finished my Bible study, and I was debating on starting Scythe and Sparrow by Bryn Weaver, because I got this at the library. I might start this, and then when I get tired of my light being on, I might just read Harry Potter. I do have that on my Kindle, or I could start something else on my Kindle. I don't really have much in the way of romance on my Kindle at the moment, and I think I need that as a palate cleanser, because I could also keep reading Big Swiss, but I just want something that like takes no brain power. Good day, or should I say good afternoon? It's almost 4, I want to say 3:30, 4 o'clock, and it is a few days later after I have finished The Bell Jar. Yeah, I finished The Bell Jar like 3 days ago. It's been a time, okay? I have been really unwell because my classes this semester are so hard. Every week, I feel like I'm getting in an octagon, a 3-way fight between me, history, and math, and I'm just getting the crap beat out of me. You know, I got 100 on my history quiz. Didn't do great on my math quiz, but YOLO. I'm not here to yap about that. I'm here to talk about Scythe and Sparrow. I am a little over 100 pages. Yeah, I'm on page 132. There's around like 350, almost 400 pages, something like that. And I'm enjoying it so far. I'm liking it a lot better than Leather and Lark. I found Leather and Lark to be severely lacking in the chemistry between the two people. I just felt like it wasn't really there for me, kind of like it was in Butcher and Blackbird. But this one, it's a little insta-lovey, which isn't ideal, but their banter is really funny. Yeah, Rose, she basically is a tarot card reader and like a motorcycle acrobatist. I don't know how to like, and she works for the circus, right? And then Fionn, which I'm also not sure if I'm pronouncing properly, but Fionn is a doctor, and she gets herself into a pickle, breaks into his healthcare practice, like doctor's office, to try to help herself, and he finds her because he realizes she breaks in, and he also thought she was a raccoon named Brenda, or a raccoon named Barbara, which there's a scene involving that, hilarious. So they kind of meet and instantly in love with her, even though she had bones sticking out, and he's like riding next to her in the ambulance, and I was a little thrown off by that. But it's not overly smutty yet, which I'm kind of enjoying. Like, it's somewhat of a slow burn despite angsty internal monologues they have of one another, because they haven't like broached the subject. They flirt a little bit, but they're not like all the time, you know? So yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm gonna read a little bit before I get dinner started. I've been trying to fix my hair is so staticky because of the cold. Anyway, it is a few hours later from me dropping Scythe and Sparrow off at the library. I found Ariel by Sylvia Plath. It's a collection of some of her poems, and I was looking for this last time I went to the library, and I couldn't find it, and I was rather annoyed that I couldn't find it. I had to use the Dewey Decimal System to find this book, and so it was a little tricky to find, mainly because it wasn't in the right spot. It was on like the other side of the aisle, so somebody was getting a little frisky hiding it from me. And then I also got Haruki Murakami book. It's my first one that I've ever been tempted to read, I guess you could say, and it's The City and Its Uncertain Walls. My library just got this in, and I'm assuming it's a new release of his, but the premise just seems so gorgeous. The beginning of the synopsis, because it just sounds so good. It says, "We begin with a nameless young couple, a boy and a girl, teenagers in love. One day, the girl tells the boy about a mysterious town surrounded by a high wall. In that town, the girl tells him her real self resides, and if the boy could manage to come along, she might not recognize him, but he would find his own place. He could be a dream reader, each night reading old dreams. He isn't sure if he should believe her, but then one day she disappears, and her absence haunts him for the rest of his life." Like, come on. It sounds so fun. And the back says, "The truth is not found in fixed stillness, but in the ceaseless change and movement. Isn't this the quintessential core of what stories are all about?" Like, it just sounds so whimsy and fun, and I've heard like Murakami writes such interesting things, so I'm excited about that. It's going to end this video here though, and because I can't even remember. I think I've read 2 books in this reading vlog, if I'm not mistaken, maybe 3, I think 2. I haven't read that many books this month, and I need to up my game a little bit. To end this video here and start another reading vlog, starting most likely with Big Swiss, since I started that and then got a little sidetracked, but we're circling back. I hope you enjoyed this video, and yeah, I mean, if you did, that's dope. If not, that's okay too. I'll survive. But I hope you guys have a lovely day, rest of your afternoon, weekend, whatever day you're watching this. I hope the rest of it's snazzy, and I will see you again soon.